Greetings, Ari the Staggers. Hope you're all okay wherever you are in the world, and what a great week it's been. We've got some beautiful weather here this weekend, so shortly to be taking the roof off and driving around, just doing one or two errands. Yeah, this week I wanted to turn my attention to the UES's Hardtop. It's been off for most of the summer, but now we're moving towards autumn. It really is time to have a look at it. It was fundamentally flawed actually. On a good day, if you're up speed and it was raining, it used to rain on the inside. So I've got a seal gone on the front kind of beam of the hardtop, so I'm gonna have a look at that. It's not going to be necessarily a totally professional job, but I just want to fix it for winter, make sure it's weather tight and so on. So what I'll do, I'll just take you into the garage, we'll have a look and I'll show you what I've been doing, and hopefully it will help others with similar issues, because they can get rotten, these things, as we know, but they are worth saving and it will be great for winter. So let's go and have a look. And just before I show you the hardtop, I just thought I'd show you my new acquisition from my birthday from Wendy and Greg. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Greg. Here is my wall plaque for the man cave, right next to my Ari the Stag badge of honour. Okay, so let's flip round. Excuse the mess. We are currently having a new kitchen done, so lots of stuff everywhere. Here is the Stag hardtop, and I'm sure you're pretty familiar with the layout of all of these. Just to walk you round, maybe front to back. I'll come back to that bit in a minute just to show you what I've been doing. Obviously that's upside down, very carefully placed on a table with a rug on, looking after it. And yeah, just the kind of places they tend to go quite often are these side pieces here. This one doesn't seem too bad actually. It's fairly solid, although one or two little kind of rusty bits here and there. And then on the seals at the back of the body tub, the decking if you will, with this obviously seats on the back of the decking behind the rear seat, and the locking pin here, which I know many of you will be familiar with. You've also got this on the convertible hood as well, as you know. So okay, you know, we've got a few problems here. I said at the front end I'm not planning to do a professional job on this, because I think there'll be a whole can of worms that we could open up if we're not very careful. So I've got to be careful of that. But I mean, okay, you know, it's going in places, but it seems all right, generally speaking. It's been in the garage for most of the summer, and that side, the side window locking lever, seems to be in a bit better condition than the other side, the near side one. Here you've got the various kind of air vents going out there, so I guess that extracts air from inside the car, and you've got your locking lever here for the these windows, which I know again some people use these separately with the hood down, just as these units on their own. Kind of creates a bit of a wind buffer for those sitting in the back. So that's one mod I've seen. Obviously this is the electric window wire coming in here across the back. I'm not sure actually whether ours works. I need to check really, and we'll have a look at that. The feed for the electrics, it's quite clever, comes from this pin here. So if you look in the B post, you'll see that this drops into the top of the B post, and there's a little electrical connection in there, and I guess over that side as well. I haven't looked at this one that closely, that you can see, and that then fires up the wire to go to the back there for the rear windscreen. So that's all good. Headlining on this one isn't too bad. You can just about make out the indentation, the fading of the T-bar, because obviously when that's sat on there, it does tend to get a little bit of condensation underneath. So I guess over the years it has faded it a little bit. And then obviously, well, you can see we've got one or two little nicks and tears, so that needs a little bit of addressing. Very easy, as you'll hear me say maybe a bit later on, so when lifting these out of the car, that you put your fingers in here and then you grip and damage the headlining. We do have a bit of a tear at the back here, which I'm going to try and repair, probably just with a bit of clear tape to keep that nice and tidy and stop it ripping any further. It's kind of quite under a bit of strain there, so I don't want it to get any further or worse. And then round to the front, which is the area on this car which has caused most problems. You're probably going to see it from a distance, but you can see here just how corroded this. This is obviously the top of the windscreen connectors, just like with the soft top. You can wind that in to hold the seal close to the top of the windscreen. In fact, you can just see the T-bar there at the front. Yeah, so with this one we have had quite a bit of trouble, as you can see. It was blowing like a hoolie inside at any speed. The wind would whistle through the front of this seam. You can see why. And B, water would flood in as well. It would actually rain on the inside, usually over my beloved, who wasn't very impressed. So thus what I've been trying to do over the weekend is make a bit of a start on putting a new rubber seal on, which you can see is laid out there. So I'll just talk you through what we've done. So we've done this side, we've got fed this side on, which took me and Harry a bit of time to do. You've actually got, if I just show you, there's a little track here, and if you can see that little metal track, and yes, this car was in Kill Yellow at one time. So that's basically what you're doing. You're pulling the profile on that retaining kind of track there, and if I show you the actual bit of rubber itself, you can see the profile possibly just there. All right, so you can see what I'm trying to, that little bit of rubber there. Let's have a look. Yeah, there you go. So that's better. So you can see the profile there. So that flat at the bottom of that profile is what you're trying to get into that track. And as I say, we've succeeded so far with this one, but now we've got all of this here to try and rectify somehow and make good. As I said at the front end, I'm not particularly wanting to get into this and putting it all apart, because it will become a major job. I'm literally going to try and feed in this new rubber into this channel, and I'll need Harry's help later on to do that, and then try and make good some of this. I've already gel lighted the rusty bits here, so I'm hoping that's not going to get any worse. But you can see here there's been quite a bit of filler added in its previous life. I've chipped all that away as much as I dare without destroying the structure, and so I think we're going to have to live with that. But I've tried to keep this track clear now to enable us to pull through the rubber. I think we're going to struggle on these corners, because I don't know if that's indented meant to be or what, but that's going to be quite tricky. But there is a start and an end point, so there's your start and there's another start point there, so there's a bit of a gap that side. Yeah, so that's the cunning plan. We'll obviously have to see how we get on, and it took two of us just to get this straight bit on, but I think you can see from the profile there just how firm that is now. It's a lot better. And if I can grab from the floor somewhere some spares that I took off yesterday, let me just have a look around here, see what I can find. Here we are, down in the depths here somewhere. These are the bits that came off, so excuse me wandering around, let's just pop them on there. They tore off quite readily. This is the original that was in there. I think you can see just how manky that was, and also it had split. So at the front leading edge, there was that gap, so it actually split, so it was no longer a circle like this is. So that's a solid, so imagine that was pretty much like that, so it was almost like a pair of lips there, you see. So that had to come out. It wasn't doing any good anyway. It's flat as a pancake anyway. There's no structure to that compared to this. You can see the difference head on, the difference there. So luckily I had got another profile, which I bought online, I think from James Paddock some months ago. I've been dreading this job for quite some time because it's not an easy one. I'm hoping I'm going to get away with it and get this new rubber seal in, and hopefully the job will be good. And this part of the old one wasn't that bad actually, but it doesn't feel as strong because obviously it's 50 years old or whatever. But that was a bit that was on that corner here. If you imagine that was here, so no wonder it leaked in the corner badly. It was just very badly manked, to say the least. So I'll do an update a bit later. That for now is the Triumph Stag UES 591S's hardtop. I do want to get it back on for winter and make sure she's all tight and dry, and yeah, I'll let you know how we get on. So the plan, as I say, is to get a rubber seal in first, make sure that's all good, and then I'll also look at some of these tears here and try and get those repaired. I'm not too worried about this. It doesn't look very nice, but it is all right. Structurally, it is okay. It's not rusty. It just doesn't look that nice. It's just a 50-year-old look. Patina, I think they call it, don't they? It's all good. And just walking around the seal that comes down the B post here. This is just stuck on, but I think you can see it's quite flat. It's literally just stuck on with Evo stick or something down this profile here. But if you look at it, that's supposed to butt up to the window. I don't suppose that's going to be doing too much butting up there. I might well order some new ones of these. There's only a foot of profile each way. You could argue we could do all these as well. However, I don't want to get into massive issues. It does work as it is. It's not broken in any way. It is a bit flatter, but again, you can see the track there as per the front. So I guess that's okay for now. I'll take a view on it, but I think, you know, that's still doing its job for now. The big one, I think, as we know, is the front for sure, which we're in hand. And then I might well see if I can buy a couple of these just to improve the fit between the end of the door and the window glass and that little strip there. So that's the plan for that. Happy days. Okay, so into evening now. We've now got the spotlights on, all the lamps on in the garage, so hopefully we can see what we're doing now with some light on the subject. And if I come over here, you can just see I've just used a little bit of WD-40. We're just starting that now on that track. So now the job is to pull it through all the way along this front rail, as I said earlier. So stand by, let's see if we can do it. And we're making some progress. As I say, I've put a bit of WD-40 in the rail, and the secret seems to be a bit like when I do my caravan awning. You've got to keep the pressure on here as you pull it along. So you're feeding here to go in the rail and pulling it through, and then it's lubricated slightly with that WD-40. So we've made a little bit of a indentation. I know we are blank here, but that is wrecked, so I'm going to have to come up with some maybe tiger seal or something just to sort it all out once I've got it in. But let's keep going and see how we get on. Right, so for the purists, you should look away now. I warn you, this profile is really tricky to get into this gutter underneath, and the only way I've been able to do it so far, we tried to pull it through and it just kept popping out, sliding out back to zero again. I know I've got a bit of a gap here, but can probably do something with that with some spare rubber that I've got to weld that in nice and sealed up. So what I'm doing is I'm laying it down onto the profile right down flat here, so leaning it in here, and then putting the front edge in, if you like, and then going over the top. And I don't know if you can see there, but I've been actually pushing in by hand using the screwdriver, tucking it into the back of the rail. All right, so it's not pretty, it's not probably the way you should do it, but I am having some success now. At least I am now locking this in, and I'm just going to work my way all the way through and hope that we get to the other end and that it all works. But it's been fighting me all the way, but I think it's just starting to go. This side was fine when I did this. That was easy. That was just literally pull it in, slid in, no bother. But because we've got the damage here, I'm just trying to ease it in gently and carefully without losing the track on the rail that's there. So I will continue and update you shortly. Okay, so I think we're just past the halfway point, which is really good. And as I say, all I'm doing here, if you can just see, is pushing this bit of rubber here in, and a little bit tricky to see under this light. Just about where the tip of the screwdriver is, you can just about see that little rubber lip. So all I'm doing is literally pushing that little bit in, a bit at a time. I'm doing this single-handedly now, so forgive me. So as I say, it's not pretty, so don't blame me if this doesn't suit the purists. I'm sure if you've got a proper track, a bit of lube in here probably would be okay, but I think you can see now I've got a nice neat edge and it is nice and firm, so I'm very pleased with that. Obviously we've got a little way to go. I'll continue on with the rest of it, but you get the idea. And as I say, I know this side there's still a bit of a gap, but I hopefully can do something about that. But the seam at the front, which was causing all the problems before, hopefully we'll resolve it. I'll carry on and show you what I've got up to in the end. Right, so I've got to a critical point. We're all on the front here, so that's good. Literally going in millimetre by millimetre, screwdriver blade by screwdriver blade, all the way across. I've got to this point now. We're still out of the track here, you can see. Now what I've got to do, because I want to keep this continuous rather than split it, is to try and feed this end into this track here, which is going all the way back to the B pillar over here, well, just short of that. So that's what I'm going to try and do now, therefore bring it all nice and in line, and then hopefully I can back work on this bit to get it into the track. So that's what I'm going to try and do next. And I suppose, benefit of hindsight being a wonderful thing, I probably should have cut that a little bit more to shape, as I've pulled it all the way up there, and now I've got excess. Obviously I wanted to pull this through, but I've made it a bit more difficult than I probably had to. But I will prevail. I'm going to pull this up tight. I want this to be one single run if I can, rather than splitting it. So I'll continue to pull out that end and see how we can tighten up these corners. So first off, I'm going to get back in for dinner. Back in a bit. Okay, well, after much huffing and puffing and painstakingly leveraging things in, Harry came to help me at one point for this side because it got very tricky and we needed two people to pull here. That's actually gone in all the way around, and with a bit of WD-40 on there, we've pulled it right through to here, and I think you can see that's a really good snug fit now, and reasonably weather tight here. Yes, there's one or two bits to fill in on the leading edge here, so I'll have to just infill some here, just make it all neat. But that is a very firm and solid bead that is now nicely into the car, and hoping to have a reunion at the weekend and get the lid back onto the car then, the hardtop. A few more jobs still to do, obviously, not least of which we have got a gap here. Someone's put some, I guess, no more nails or something in there, but it's pretty rock solid, but that's good. So I might just seal in here with some sealant to make that look nice, and then obviously I'll get another strip for here just to finish it off. And the two cuts at the back, obviously, or the one cut at the back and the one at the front, I've still got to do with a bit of Gorilla tape I'm going to use. There we are. So, having worried about this job for quite some time, we appear to have been lucky. It's taken quite a bit of fiddling off camera, with Harry helping as well, but I think we're there. And not an easy job, but hopefully that's going to give one or two people some ideas on how to do the job themselves if they fancy it. But it's probably a two-handed job, two people I mean, to do it. And I've heard quite good stuff about this before. I've never used it before. It's an adhesive sealant and mastic. It seals and bonds permanently and can be overpainted. So I've just literally patched up around the corners where there potentially could be leaks. It's not very pretty, but I have kind of drawn a blade over it just to tidy it all up. This side in particular, as we said earlier, needed a fair bit of work. So I've got a fair bit in there that now holds the whole thing to the roof as well. And then obviously later on what I'll do is I'll touch it up with some color coded paint and also replace this in time as well. At the weekend I'm hoping to receive some more P profiles, so I've got two of these coming for this side and also for that side as well, so hopefully that will abut to the glass a bit better than it currently does. So all in all, yeah, reasonably happy with what we've done this evening. As I say, big worry that we're never going to get this done. Looks a bit scrappy in places, I know, but I will touch that up such that you won't be able to see it. But I like this rubberized stuff because it does move. It's not going to it's not brittle, unlike filler or anything like that, so it has got that property about it. So we'll see what it's like in the daylight. Happy days. Okay, well, I must say I'm very impressed with James Paddock this week, because I ordered some new rubber seals for the hardtop, and I was just talking about the P rubber seals on the back of the B posts earlier. Well, they've arrived, and I've also got some I can't remember what it's called. It's like a furry flex kind of replacement. So again, that will go on the top of the door for the one that you saw that was a bit serrated earlier and worn. So I've got both of those to put on, which I'll put on very shortly. But just to sing James Paddock's praise, literally phoned him 4:30 one afternoon. They promised to put it in the post to me, and do you know what? It actually was there next morning at 7:30. So they are awesome and a great company to get your stag spares from. So big plug up for James Paddock. There you go. Well done, guys. So I'll put these on the car now, and hopefully we'll have a completed hardtop. Happy days. And just to finish off, these were they were fur flex, they're called, those little furry flexible things I just showed you. So that's going to be replaced. This will come off here and I'll replace it with brand new there, which is good. And then finally what I have done is managed to just simply patch these tears. I know it's not necessarily a professional job, but you know, it's good enough. That's Gorilla Tape, that is. It's a see-through clear tape, and I've also done the one down the bottom there. Again, just taped it up to make sure that it's going to be safe and won't get worse. So as I said at the front end, it's not a professional job necessarily, but it will be weather tight, and hopefully getting it back on the car very soon. We now have a weather strip at the front, which means the missus ain't going to get wet when we go out. I'm sure she'll be pleased. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Literally a whistle-stop tour around the hardtop. As you can see, it's not an easy job. Those little rails on the front there, really tricky to get the profile of the rubber in. We've used a variety of kind of lubricants to try and ease it in. First bit was okay. The front is the most problematic bit, and also the bit that is most rusty and filled with goodness knows what, as you saw. So so that's that. Hopefully we've got that sorted now. We'll try it on the car very shortly and make sure it reaffixes to the body in a weather-tight way. And you'll also have seen the fix on the headlining as well. So hopefully that will stop any more kind of rips and tears. Really difficult when you're taking the hardtop off not to put your fingers underneath and rip into the headlining, so do remember that when you're doing it. And I do know that some people actually remove that rear kind of striker pin. So over here at the back, if you imagine that, there's a plunger pin that goes into the hole up the on the back of the back of the car. Some actually do take that out. Whether that's a good thing to do or not, I personally would like to keep it in, have kept it in because of safety and security. I have heard one report of these things flying off at speed. I don't know the background or details, but I think you can see with everything kind of pinioned on the front of the beam here and the two kind of quarter lights behind me, the windows, then potentially it could be an issue. But many say makes life a lot easier just to take the pin out and then just have it resting on the tub. So there you go. Good. Okay, well, have a great week, everybody. Stay safe and enjoy your classic cars wherever you are, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as ever, we have our Saturday sockets at the weekend, an email that you can sign up for, a bit of off-camera shenanigans that we get up to. And also don't forget your badge of honour, Harry the Stag badge of honour, that you can stick on your windscreen free of charge. Go on our website and order it, and we'll send it to you anywhere in the world free of charge. So can't be bad. It's all about sharing that classics dream, isn't it? Good. Okay, have a great week, and we'll see you online on Harry the Stag very soon. Cheers for now. Bye.